Your brain is glitchy. It's not broken, it's simply designed to take shortcuts. Every thought, decision, and opinion you form is filtered through mental hacks your brain uses to save time and effort. But these shortcuts, while useful, often lead you into traps without you realizing. Today, we're going to uncover 10 cognitive biases that control how you think, act, and even feel, and I guarantee you've fallen for most of them. As you go through this list, I challenge you to count how many of these mental glitches you've caught yourself doing. By the end of the video, drop your number in the comments. Let's see how self-aware this community really is. Also, if you enjoy learning how your mind plays tricks on you, hit that subscribe button right now. NeuroWhirl is just getting started, and your brain will never see itself the same way again. Let's dive into the first glitch: confirmation bias. This is one of the most powerful cognitive biases, and it affects you constantly. It's the tendency to seek out information that supports your existing beliefs while ignoring anything that contradicts them. If you believe the Earth is flat, you'll go looking for articles and videos that confirm it. If you're convinced a certain diet works, you'll ignore studies that say otherwise. Your brain loves being right, and it will filter reality to protect your ego. This is why arguments on the internet rarely change anyone's mind. People aren't searching for truth, they're searching for validation. Next is anchoring bias. The first piece of information you hear becomes an anchor point, shaping how you interpret everything that comes after. Let's say you're shopping for a jacket, and you see one priced at $500. Then you find a similar jacket marked down to $200. Suddenly, $200 feels like a bargain, even if it's still overpriced. Your brain isn't judging the price objectively, it's comparing it to the anchor you've been given. Marketers use this against you all the time. Third, we have the spotlight effect. You've definitely experienced this. You spill coffee on your shirt, and for the rest of the day, you're convinced everyone is staring at that stain. But in reality, nobody cares. People are too busy worrying about themselves. Your brain tricks you into believing you're constantly in the spotlight, overestimating how much people notice you. This bias fuels social anxiety and unnecessary self-consciousness. The fourth glitch is the Dunning-Kruger effect. Ever noticed how beginners often act like experts? This isn't arrogance, it's a cognitive glitch. When you know very little about a subject, you're unaware of how much you don't know. That ignorance breeds overconfidence. Meanwhile, true experts who understand the complexity of a topic tend to doubt themselves because they know how much more there is to learn. It's a paradox where the less you know, the more confident you are. Fifth is the availability heuristic. This bias makes you judge the likelihood of events based on how easily examples come to mind. If you recently heard about a shark attack on the news, you might start believing that swimming in the ocean is extremely dangerous, even though shark attacks are incredibly rare. On the flip side, you probably don't think twice about driving, even though car accidents are far more common and deadly. Your brain assumes that if something is easy to recall, it must be important or frequent, which is not always the case. Let's keep going. We've already seen 5 ways your brain filters reality, but we're just getting started. The next glitch is one you've definitely experienced, and it's so sneaky you probably never noticed. Number 6, the IKEA Effect. When you build something yourself, you place a higher value on it, even if it's not perfect. Think about it. You assemble a wobbly IKEA shelf, but because you invested time and effort, it feels like it's worth more than a professionally built one. This doesn't just apply to furniture. People overvalue their own ideas, projects, and even relationships simply because they've invested in them. It's a glitch that marketers love to exploit. DIY kits, build your own meal boxes, even simple customization options, all designed to make you feel ownership and pride. But here's the catch. Sometimes the effort you put in clouds your judgment about the actual quality of what you've made. Next up, number 7, the framing effect. How information is presented dramatically changes how you perceive it. For example, if I tell you a surgery has a 90% survival rate, you'd probably feel optimistic. But if I rephrase it and say it has a 10% chance of death, it suddenly feels risky, even though the statistics are identical. Politicians, advertisers, and media outlets use framing to shape public opinion constantly. Your brain isn't as rational as you think. It's incredibly sensitive to context and wording. Being aware of the framing effect helps you see through manipulative messaging and make better decisions. Number 8. Loss aversion. You hate losing more than you enjoy winning. Studies have shown that the pain of losing $100 is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining $100. This bias makes you overly cautious, afraid to take risks, and can even trap you in bad situations just to avoid admitting defeat. For example, people often hold on to failing investments or stay in toxic relationships simply because they don't want to lose what they've already put in. Marketers weaponize loss aversion with tactics like limited-time offers or last-chance sales, making you fear missing out more than you desire the actual product. Number 9 is the curse of knowledge. Once you learn something, it becomes nearly impossible to imagine not knowing it. This makes explaining things to beginners difficult because your brain assumes the information is obvious. Teachers, managers, and experts often fall into this trap, overloading others with jargon and skipping crucial context, not because they're arrogant, but because their brain literally can't rewind to that beginner's mind. It's a glitch that can create massive communication breakdowns. And finally, number 10, the mere exposure effect. The more you see something, the more you like it, even if you didn't care about it at first. Familiarity breeds comfort. This is why songs on the radio grow on you after repeated plays, why brands bombard you with ads, and why politicians plaster their faces everywhere during campaigns. Your brain equates familiarity with safety and trust. It's not logic, it's just repeated exposure. Now here's the wild part. These are just 10 of the hundreds of cognitive glitches your brain uses every single day. You're walking around with a reality filter you didn't even know existed. But now that you're aware of it, you can start catching these biases in action. The next time you feel overconfident in a subject you barely know, think Dunning-Kruger. When you catch yourself justifying a bad decision because of the time you invested, that's the IKEA effect at play. And when you're about to buy something just because it's the last one left, pause and remember loss aversion. If you found yourself in any of these glitches, congratulations. That's the first step to breaking free from them. But trust me, your brain has many more tricks up its sleeve. If you want to keep discovering how your mind works against you and how to fight back, hit that subscribe button. And before you leave, drop a comment. Which of these biases do you think affects you the most? Let's see who's brave enough to admit their mental blind spots. Thanks for watching. See you in the next glitch.